Hey team, Luke of Crusader Machining here. For today's video, we are going to be boring out a set of emergency collet pads. S26, step-by-step process of how I bore out emergency collet pads to achieve a special non-standard size for my transfer side on my machine. Let's go. So the first thing that we're going to do is establish what size we need to bore out. And looking at my print, it's an 802 diameter that I need to transfer on. So I'm going to shoot the bore between 800 to 805. And I found a set of collet pads. You can see here, 720. When we bore a set of emergency pads and when we're done, we put them in a box. We write on them the last set. We write on them the last size that we bored them out to. So when the next person needs them, they know, okay, these were 720. They're somewhat close to what I'm going to bore. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to put in the collet pads, load in my boring bar. But I just want to let you know, I find my collet pad set that's closest to my finished size, which is going to be 800, or I'm going to shoot to 802. I'm going for 800 to 805. 720. So my next step now is to actually put in the collet pads. And these S26 collet pads are absolutely phenomenal to work with. I love emergency pads. We bore them out very often. But what's a pain in the butt is when we bore them out and someone forgets to write down the size, then it can be quite a pain in the butt. And this machine is kind of tight, cramped spaces, so it's hard to see. There's a special little spline wrench that we use. It's special for these collet pad clamps. Now the second piece of the puzzle that may be the most important, these pins. And these pins are 3/16 diameter, and they have to be this size. You can see these little holes there that the pins go in. They're all the same size, and what they do is they allow, whenever you're boring out pads or jaws, you need to have clamping pressure or everything is essentially loose. With these pins, and you'll see it's going to close now, collet close. With these pins now, I'm in the middle of the stroke, and we have clamping pressure evenly throughout. And this is the bore I'm going to put in. It's got quite the overhang, but it doesn't really matter. I just need to know that I'm going to go deep enough to bore through the pads without hitting the shoulder. This part right here might be a challenge to see. I'm going to put on my spindle at 1,000 RPM, and I am going to teach my tool both to X and Z. And you can bore this out by hand, which I may do, but I need to know, where am I at? So we're cutting there. I'm going to go to my tool 10, offset, geometry, tool 10. I'm going to say Z, 0 point, measure. The first thing I'm going to want to do is measure to teach my tool. So I'm seeing at about 695. Nope, I'm seeing it this way at about right at 700. I'm going to turn on my spindle. And I'm going to go in and reteach it. Yeah, that's the sound right there. So I'm going to go to my offset screen and touch it off. Now I'm going to bring it up in my position page. We can remove 50 at a time. I'm going to feed it in nice and slow, nice and easy. This is not a race. And this is just my rough cut. And if you had to remove a lot more, I would definitely advise writing a program, but I'm going up to 800 to 802. Sorry, 800 to 805. Feed out nice and slow to back cut a nice finish. Now let's measure that and see what we got. I'm measuring a little high, 755. So I'm going to go into my offset that down 5 thousandths, input plus, and then I'm going to run it again and check it again. So now I called up 780, and I don't want to run it to my full size yet in case I make a mistake, which I have. And don't worry about the chatter. It'll be beautiful when we're done. I'm going to bore that and then check it again. That's probably chattering because my bar is so long, but I'm not worried about it. Stop the spindle. Let's get in there and check this sucker out. So I am right at 7, right at, it was here, I swear. We're about right at 780. I'm going to bring that all the way up to 800 and cut again. And now probably the most important part of this are my gauges. I have an 800 thou gauge block and an 805 gauge block. Let's see if my math and everything worked out. The 800 should pass, which it does beautifully. And the 805, you can see that, should not, which it doesn't. That means these pads are between 800 to 805. I'm going for 802. If I have a 1 or 1.5 discrepancy, I'm not worried about it. And then the last thing we'd want to do, of course, is take those pins out, the 4 pins that are 3/16 diameter, blow out that chuck really well, and flush some water to get all those fine chips out. Now that's just a down and dirty method that I use to bore emergency collet pads. If you're using S20, S26, S30 collet pads, keep a set of emergency on. You never know when you need to hold a non-nominal size. And if you have to order them, sometimes it can take a couple weeks. We keep the emergency and we start small and we just open them up until we can't use them anymore. We've got a few sets that we keep on hand. As you can see here, we went from like 720 or whatever it was up to 800. Hope you guys liked seeing the video on how I bored collet pads, emergency pads, and if you had to remove more material or do a little bit more in-depth profile inside, I would definitely write a program versus doing it by hand. I did that by hand because it literally takes me 15 minutes from start to finish. If you're doing it more in-depth, get everything touched off, write your program, treat it like a new setup, but use those gauge pins to verify size. Leave a comment below. If you got a question, drop it. I try to get to all the comments and questions in the YouTube videos. Check me out on all my socials. If you think anyone could derive value from the video, share it to them. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.